welcome back to Darrell's Corner. My name is Lakwa, and we are here at the Gig East Center in Wilson, North Carolina. Again, here with Smart Ag, with the National Institute Smart Ag Accelerator program. Today we'll be working and seeing Greg Dunko and Charlie Bourne present on their program and projects with Gig East and the USDA sites on their greenhouse and high tunnels. Today I'm standing here with Greg Dunko of Riot. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I have a few questions for you. We're here at the USDA site, correct?
That's correct. It's a Source. It's a Smart Ag pilot facility here in Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah. I have a few questions for you. So what tools are there out there for beginning farmers that you have here?
So we've created a space with really low to medium tech enabled capabilities. You can heat, cool, ventilate, irrigate, sense soil moisture, and things like that. So simple data systems to let you just understand what's happening with your crops.
Yeah, nice. How do you work with entrepreneurs in agriculture?
So Riot does a lot of work with entrepreneurs, mostly around IoT, data, AI applications, things like that. Through that work, we've worked with a number of startup entrepreneurs in the ag space. We have one we're working with right now who's actually going to come run a pilot. He's a guy who has a wearable plant sensor that basically sniffs the gases coming off the plants and detects health. And so, yeah, kind of a merger of technology, pure tech and agriculture. And so we're looking to run a pilot here with him.
You mentioned this thing in your presentation earlier that we had the privilege of seeing at the Gig East Center. So you spoke on the RGBC study. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that was the USDA funded Rural Business Development Grant. And that grant basically was a feasibility study in which we basically said, with the kind of capabilities you have in this space with ag tech, what could you grow in Eastern North Carolina? And if you could grow it, is there a business opportunity? What's the market for it? So really trying to create opportunities for small and mid-sized growers using ag tech.
Why is indoor agriculture important? And why is it important not only to growers, but to consumers as well?
So I think there's an opportunity with indoor agriculture. You can control the environment, so controlling agriculture. With that, you can grow things you don't normally grow. So we're good at growing soybean and sweet potatoes and cotton and corn and things like that here in Eastern North Carolina. If we can just do a little bit of control with the high tunnel, or even more control with the greenhouse, we can grow crops that right now we have to go outside to go get. We can grow cilantro or tomatoes or other things that right now we go get from Mexico or even California or something. So we can grow them locally, local food for our local folks.
Yeah, even cut flowers. You were mentioning that earlier.
It's an opportunity as well.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit. I mean, I know a lot of people, even myself, struggle to understand the difference between high tunnels and a greenhouse. So what are the differences that many people don't understand?
It's a great question because frankly, I think it's a big gray. The most basic high tunnel is just a plastic enclosure that maybe has a little bit of sidewall ventilation or something. That's can be pretty basic. A greenhouse can be very advanced and have curtains for shielding out the sun. It can have temperature and humidity and all kinds of other, you can inject CO2 and things like that. We're kind of keeping it more on sort of low and middle tech. And so our high tunnels, for example, have heat. So maybe that's kind of a hybrid high tunnel greenhouse.
Okay,
But yeah, I think we have sort of the swath of low to mid tech controlled environment through our high tunnels and greenhouse.
Yeah, and right now we're right here in the greenhouse on the site, and it's pretty warm in here.
Yeah,
it's getting really toasty.
the fans are off. Yeah.
So
I think it's about 30 outside, but it's warm in here.
Yeah, but these tomatoes are loving it. So yeah. So this is great. We have about 8 tomatoes here with us today, and we're gonna work with them and see how they go. Yeah, the babies. So just starting out with germinating them and then introducing it to the students here at the Smart Ag Accelerator program, those who are beginning farmers, just giving them an insight on what it looks like to have a farming operation, whether this is a greenhouse or a high tunnel. Yeah. So we got to tour with Greg and see both this nice greenhouse here and the high tunnel over that you check out later.
Yeah, I got to check out the matcha that they're growing in the high tunnel over there. So someday we're growing matcha tea here in Eastern North Carolina.
Tell us about that, the matcha. That was pretty interesting. So
Wilson-based grower. has a partnership with sort of a U.S.-Japan foundation to see, can you grow matcha in North Carolina? It turns out in Japan, the average matcha farmer is 78 years old. So there's no one to do it. And so, can you grow it here? And also, given our history in Eastern North Carolina and Wilson and other areas of processing tobacco and leaf products, could we dry the matcha? Could we grind the matcha? All the things you do to tobacco, you can do to matcha leaves or to these leaves and maybe make matcha tea locally. So hopefully the whole vertical integrated solution here.
Yeah. Vertical integrated. What is vertical integrated?
So vertical would be growing to drying to processing, packaging, mixing, whatever. So the whole supply chain, so we can hopefully get all those jobs, not just growing it, but we can get all the processing jobs, all the marketing jobs, all the selling jobs. So yeah, the whole thing. Hopefully we'll be drinking Wilson matcha someday.
Yes, that would be great. We'll have that right downtown by Gig East. Cool. Well, thank you, Greg. It was nice meeting you, sir. Yes, sir.